Lie still. I'm trying to help you.
No, Bobbie, don't.
I'm trying to help you.
How could you do this to Luke?
Hey, Barbara! What is going on?
She needs a sedative, Luke. It'll make her more comfortable.
Well, not till I talk to her.
I'm trying to do what's best for Skye.
How are you feeling, babe?
Luke.
You said you had something to tell me? All right, what's going on?
I'm a nurse. I'm trying to do my job.
She's got something she wants to tell me and you don't want me to hear. You've been acting strange ever since I got back from Memphis.
Well, with good reason, Luke. It has been a difficult time for all of us.
All things considered, I think you took the news of Laura's death pretty well.
What is that supposed to mean?
I found out my wife died in a fire. I dug up her remains to prove it to myself. It's an ugly way to go, Barbara. I'm sick just thinking about it. You took the news in stride.
Because I thought you would need me. So I put my own feelings aside so that I could help you through this.
Help me? You didn't offer to help with the memorial. You didn't even want me to talk to Leslie and Lulu. Are you in denial? Or is it that Laura's death is just not that important at this point?
Luke, this isn't easy for me.
I can see that.
Laura was a big part of my life.
I think she still is. Laura's alive. Isn't she, Bobbie? Laura is alive. And Skye was on her way to finding out, and that's what she wanted to tell me before you pumped her full of sedatives.
Luke, you dug up Laura's grave, and you saw her remains. Now, why isn't that enough for you?
I saw a clump of charred flesh and bone, Bobbie. That's easy to rig. I've done it myself, and you have learned from my example. Stop lying. What did you do, Bobbie?
All right. All right. Yes. Laura's alive.
How long have you known?
Since Laura went to Memphis.
How?
The nurse that Heather hired to take care of Laura is a woman by the name of Pam Connolly. She's a home care nurse now, but she used to work here at General. I've known her for years.
So this Connolly isn't a drunk?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, Heather hired her at 4 times her regular salary. She was supposed to set up an apartment and meet a plane. Pick up a catatonic mental patient who was arriving by private plane. And while Pam was trying to get the patient settled, she noticed that she had on a hospital ID bracelet, and it said Laura Spencer. So she called me on the phone, and she told me that she thought she was looking after my sister-in-law.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because I wanted to be sure. So I flew down to Memphis, and I saw Laura. Look, I realized that her condition hadn't changed. And I was about to call you when I read this story in the newspaper about a fire. And some of the victims in this old rundown apartment building were indigents. They hadn't been identified.
So you decided to pass one off as Laura?
The hardest part was trying to figure out how to switch the DNA. But I am a nurse, and sadly, the fire victims didn't seem to be a priority for anyone.
So let me see if I understand this. You buried an indigent under my wife's name and left a little trail of breadcrumbs so that I would find Connolly, and then you sat back to wait. For what? I mean, Connolly did a great job. I believed every word.
Well, because I tried to explain to Pam how important this was.
Well, why don't you explain it to me?
Oh, Luke. Ever since Laura suffered her final breakdown, it's as if you're trying to self-destruct. And one minute, I think you're just fine, and then the next minute you turn around and you vanish. And then you surface somewhere on a chain gang You're sitting here perched on the edge of this building. For God's sake, Luke, you burned down the police station. You haven't been able to grieve for Laura and move on. It's as if you are stalled right in the middle of the process.
So you decided to push it along?
You're my brother. I have loved you my entire life, and I don't want to lose you.
You love me so much. You let me believe my wife died in a fire?
You love me enough to let me believe my daughter was dead.
So, that's what this is, huh? Payback?
No, Luke, no. I was trying to set you free.
That is not your call, Barbara.
The Laura you loved is gone. She's not coming back. And I don't want to see you tied to a memory for the rest of your life. And I honestly believe Laura would want you to move on. Laura would want to set you free.
The hell with your justifications, Barbara Jean. Where is my wife?
Laura is comfortable. She's being well cared for.
Bobbie, stop stalling.
Let
Tell me
go
where
of
she
her. Your life counts too, Luke. It's time to start living it again.
Old Post Road. That's where Skye had her accident. You got her stashed somewhere on Old Post Road, and Skye knew she was there.
That's ridiculous. How would Skye know about any of this?
Skye, why didn't you tell me Laura was alive?
I wanted to. You sure we should be doing this?
I don't see why not. I mean, we're stuck in here because of the blizzard. There's nobody in the boat. Why should we stay cooped up in my room?
That's the way it usually works. You rent a place, you stay in it.
Whoa, Luke. Sorry, we didn't know you were here.
I figured that. Hello, Georgie.
Hi, Luke.
Hey, man, you don't look so good. I mean, you okay? Did something worse happen? Not that it could get any worse, but...
No, you're wrong, my young friend. Things can always get worse. If you hang on long enough, they always do. Take my life, for example. I just found what was left of my wife.
Make that ex-cop.
Mac, no.
I want your badge and your gun. You are suspended indefinitely. And be prepared to face criminal charges if proof shows up that you aided and abetted Nicholas's escape.
Hey, cut the boy some slack, Bubba. He's got a lot on his mind.
I know about Mom.
No, son, I'm afraid you don't.
I couldn't find my key, so Dylan and Georgie let me in. I'm packing my things.
I can see that.
When I do find my key, I'll be sure to give it to Dylan. That way you and I don't have to cross paths unnecessarily.
Okay. I've only got one question. Why? When you were trying to call me, you were going to tell me that Laura was alive, weren't you?
Yes,
How long had you known?
10 minutes. Bobbie was acting really weird, you know. It didn't feel right, so I followed her, and that's when I found Laura, and she was...
I know how she was. But what I don't understand is why you would think that I would blame you for any of this.
Well, I'm not exactly known for my truthfulness. I didn't expect you to give me the benefit of the doubt.
Haven't you learned to trust me yet? I've learned to trust you.
You don't know what that means to me, to hear that, to have you standing here. You know, I thought that you were going to find Laura and go somewhere and that I'd never see you again.
Laura's in Shady Brook.
You had her committed?
She's gone, Skye. She's not coming back to me. was something that Bobbie had right. That and the fact that I will love Laura till the day I die.
I know, I mean, she's the love of your life, right?
She was. But she is gone. And I think I'm finally ready to move on. With you. If you'll have me.